Here's a tip from BetStar.
When punting on the footy, choose a team led by a confident captain with hands. With no hands, how can he pat his team on the back or peel an orange? Teams with appropriate hand-to-player ratio. That's the way to go.
Welcome to day one of the GGArmy On Tour. We are just about to head off to the Australian Embassy for our welcome function. We've got a few stragglers who got caught up in the tornado in Melbourne, so they're just going to be a little behind us, but we're going to have a great night. We're going to see the most valuable piece of Australian property outside of Australia. So we're going to have a few drinks, have a bit of fun. Simon Hill, Andy Harper, meet the Australian Embassy, and we're getting ready for an amazing trip here in Japan and see if we can come home with 3 points.
Last time you came, but apparently there wasn't one skerrick of alcohol left in our bar, and the ambassador's been visiting me many times this week to remind me what to do and how to ensure that you all had a good time. So thank you very much for coming. We really appreciate you.
It's fantastic to see that so many Aussies have travelled. I'm told that there's about 1,100 tickets that have been sold, so you know, bring it on Tuesday night. Yeah.
You've been hosted the Australian Embassy before in the past?
Not this particular one in Tokyo, but yeah, it seems that most away games that we go to these days, there's such an Aussie presence that in the stands that the local embassy gets involved, which is fantastic. I think the last one we went to was in Beirut for the friendly over there against Lebanon. So I think it's great, you know, it's getting all the Aussies together before the big game and kick-start the party.
You're looking forward to hanging around with the rest of the Green and Gold Army tonight?
I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm on my second beer already, so I'm very much enjoying the free bar. So yeah, it should be a good night.
And a full house at the Saitama Stadium. Do you think the Aussie boys are going to be able to make much noise from the stand?
Well, you can try. I think it'll be tough, particularly as this particular venue is the home ground of the Urawa Red Diamonds, and they're the most passionate and noisy fans in Japan. In fact, I did an interview with Josh Kennedy a few weeks ago, and I said, what's it going to be like over there? And he said, well, you know, normally in Japan, every league ground you go to, they're very polite and they bow when they see you and ask very kindly if you can have an autograph or a photo. He said, not when you go to Saitama. They'll give you as much grief as in Europe. So it's going to be fascinating, but you know, great for us, obviously, as football fans. I think it's these are the sort of games you enjoy, and particularly for me as a commentator, brilliant.
I don't think we'll get thrashed, but I think we'll lose. I think we'll probably lose 1 or 2-0.
I honestly believe we're going to win, and I don't just say that just out of hopeless optimism. I just really think that the planets will align, and I'm uncertain about the starting lineup, but I just think that Australian fighting spirit will come to the fore, and those players we have depended on for a number of years, like Tim Cahill and others, will do us proud. But I'm really hoping that some of the young guys will come through and and this will be their breakthrough moment.
Here's a tip from BetStar.
When punting on the footy, choose a team led by a confident captain with hands. With no hands, how can he pat his team on the back or peel an orange? Teams with appropriate hand-to-player ratio. That's the way to go.